Hello, my name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch, I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about using the weather in spells. I'm not sure whether I've ever done it before, but what prompted me to do it is I'm sitting here today and we've got a storm going on outside, quite a bad one. Mostly high winds, and it got me thinking about how we can and do use the weather in our spells. And with wind, you might think, oh, well, it's just annoying and, you know, it can blow slates off the roof, and on my roof it does quite often. But you can also think to yourself, well, now, hang on, how can I use it? Well, when you think of it, high winds like this, they're excellent to try and harness them. By harness them, I mean you can go outside, even briefly. You don't have to go up on a mountain top. Great if you can do it, but don't put yourself at risk. Just go outside and feel the wind. You really have to clasp it to you, because there are entities within the wind and the rain and the clouds, and they're there, and they will respond to us. It's a funny thing, but once you start trying it, it's quite good. So you can clasp this feeling of the wind, you can sense it, feel it. You know, try and feel it on your face, feel it in your hair, feel it in your fingers and all over you. How does it affect your clothes? Does it blow your scarf away or your hat? What does it do? And you can use wind in spells for communication. Brilliant for that, because it's take this spell, just as the wind is blowing from A to B, so may my spell be carried along on this wind. And try and position yourself roughly that the wind is behind you and will blow past you towards whoever it is you're trying to carry your spell towards, you know. So, for example, if you were trying to do a spell, I don't know, something to do with your local school, well, you would try and face in the direction of it, even if it meant you had to go out and get to a place where the wind was behind you, in other words, where you were between the wind and the object of your spell. So you can do that. That's quite good. It's very good for communication. Very good for cleansing, because it blows things away. And in that case, you don't really have to worry too much about direction, as long as it's not blowing it back into your house. And if you think it might be going in that direction, well, shut the door. Get outside and shut the door. Makes sense. And then you can use the wind to blow things away, worries, cares, sorrows, anger, and, you know, be sensible about this. If you believe there's an entity in the wind, well, have some manners, because good manners are always a good idea in a spell, especially for solitaries, because you've got nobody else you can blame it on. It's only you. So you can ask the spirits of the wind to carry your spell, to carry your anger, to carry your anxiety, your sorrow, whatever it is you want to get rid of. You can use it in psychic attacks even, where you feel you're under attack, to blow this hex, this attack, blow it away from me, please, and disperse it. That's a very important part of that, disperse it, because you really don't want to blow the attack onto somebody else. That's not a good idea. The same goes for rain. Rain is very good for a lot of things, as long as you don't mind getting a bit wet. Again, go out and stand in it and see what sort of rain it is. Is it rain that's coming straight up and down? Is it rain that's carried on the wind? Feel it. Feel what it's like. Rain has a different feeling depending on how it comes down. You get drizzle, odd little droplets. And where I live, they say it's picking rain, or it's picking to rain. Got to go now, they say. It's picking rain. And that's what it means. It's starting to rain, and it usually begins with drizzle. So you can also feel rain where it just comes and it's a heavy shower. Where it's a cloudburst and you get absolutely drenched is another one. Or where the wind is blowing the rain so that it really stings your face. And all these different types of rain, you can sit down and think to yourself, well, how would I use that in a spell? You can do this long before ever the rain gets here. You should sit down with your little magical journal and think to yourself, well, now, if it's drizzle, what can I do? It's the odd little droplet. What is it? What am I going to use it for? The odd little droplet, what can it be used for? Have a think. It might be useful just to refresh something. Freshen it up, not enough to soak it, just to refresh. And if you find you've got the sort of wind and rain that stings your face, well, what can you do with that? Because you've got these opportunities, you see, with magic, that you can do it as a just as, so may. You could, for example, if you got caught in a cloudburst, you could use it to wash away sorrow, wash away grief. It won't do it all at once, it might take you many attempts. It's a very good way to feel at one with the weather. It's a marvellous feeling. Just as this cloudburst has soaked me and washed me and soaked through my clothes, may it wash away all my sorrow about X, Y, Z, whatever it is you're feeling sorrow about. So give it a try and see how you get on. You can do it with all the different weather, the sun, drying things out, scorching them, burning them. You have a lot of options. You know, don't restrict yourself to a simple spell. You can really get into this with the weather. And witches were always renowned for influencing weather, but I think they also worked with the weather to drive their spells along. So I think it's a technique that has a very long and illustrious, if you like, pedigree. Anyway, I'll leave you with those thoughts now, just something to try out, and all the very best. Stay safe. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.